Series circuit this year. The big man there is London-born, London-based Giuliano Fiori. They're down to 11 men. Lucas Duki injured in the opening match, and they'll have to raise their game here. The Sonseri twins, along with Moises Duque, provide the experience of Giuliano Fiori, the big man. So Argentina looking for their second win of the day, having defeated Russia first time out, led by Gaston Rival. But back in the ranks now is that man, Juan Imhoff, from the Racing 92 club in Paris, and he also has Olympic ambitions. So the scene is set for the near neighbours, and two coaches who know each other very well in Santiago Gomez Cora and Andres Romagnoli, former colleagues in the Argentina Sevens squad. So Brazil will kick off. Nicely placed, just on the 10-metre line, tipped forward by Giuliano Fiori with the head cap, the head guard. So joining me in commentary here is Ollie Phillips, the near neighbours. So there'll be a little bit of an edge to this match, but I'm just wondering whether Brazil can up their game a little.
Well, being honest, Win, I think they need to, with the Olympics so close. They need to have a strong showing here, so that when it comes to the tournament in their own backyard, they put up a really strong display, because the opposition and now the teams on this HSBC 7 Series are so formidable, so strong.
Rodrigo Echat with the first incursion, the youngster named nominated as one of the rookies of the year. Oh, clean through the middle goes Matias Moroni, who's had 8 tests for Argentina. One of the players brought back into this side with the international experience, along with Juan Imhoff and Santiago Cordero.
He cuts an absolutely fabulous line. Spots the fact that his man's drifting across the field and comes straight back against the grain. Wonderfully taken try. We just see here now, that is the perfect line. Fiori turns his shoulders. The Brazilian number 3 doesn't see the line he runs, and he makes him pay the heavy price for that. Good start from Argentina. There, just see it, bang, comes straight off the shoulder. Luna starts to drift across the field, and that's what you want as a ball carrier. Someone coming straight and hard, and Moroni steps up and shoulders that task.
It's a very useful side that Andres Romagnoli has here in London, and he's having a look. He wanted to have a look at Juan Imhoff, and it was one of his wishes, certainly, that he could have the guy who has been carving up the turf there and carving up defences as well for Racing 92 in Paris in the top 14. He's had his wish.
Well, I think you'll also be delighted at that there. We just saw off the restart, Gaston Rival, so clever, spotted that Brazil had all their defenders up front, kicked it long, fabulous kick right on the 5-metre line. The result, Brazil kick it dead. Argentina got the possession now on their 22.
Argentina Cup finalists in Cape Town in December. Here they come again, good angle. Alex Ruiz, the referee, right on the spot. Restarts are so crucial, aren't they, in the Sevens code?
They are, and you've got two decisions. You either kick short or you kick long. You just see Brazil play 6 players up, leaving the space behind. Rival spots it, drills it long, and immediately pressure back on the Brazilians. Outstanding play and really good game understanding from them. And wonderfully executed kick from Rival as well.
It's a penalty against Argentina. Strong breeze blowing, not sure where it's blowing. I think it's blowing across the field here. It's causing a bit of a problem for kickers. We saw the USA in fluffing 2 conversion attempts, and there is a swirling wind here in Twickenham.
It might also be to do with the shank or his 50p Toblerone boot that he missed that conversion effort.
Yeah, the 50p Toblerone boot, that's excellent. Why is it Dookie looking for his brother, perhaps, who was injured in the first game this morning? Well picked up there by Martin Schäfer. Little show from Gustavo Albuquerque, gets in behind the Argentinian defense. Pass is not crisp enough.
Yeah, what we saw there, Win, is Brazil just not getting any width on their play. They're playing within the 215-metre lines. What that allows Argentina to do is just pressure them and harry them so much so that that really exposes the key skills of the Brazilians. The result is they end up passing straight into touch. Good defensive play from Argentina, poor execution from Brazil. Just see here, look how narrow they operate within that 15-metre channel. They don't get any width on the game, so Argentina just keep coming forward, harrying them, putting pressure on them. Knock on there, referee misses that. Again, they don't get any width, and it just goes into touch. Really simple stuff from Argentina. Poor attacking game understanding from Brazil.
Duque. Daniel Sonseri, good pace being shown here. Somehow Brazil, no, I thought the second that they had kept possession, but that's been the story really throughout this season, the times we have seen them, the handling errors.
Yeah, just indicative of some of their performances sometimes. Great little fend there from the Brazilians, but then the execution at the end, look, lovely in, out, quick fend. Sonseri does everything right, and then you just don't need to push that 50-50 there. Set the break down, put some pressure on Argentina.
That's the try scorer for Argentina, Matias Moroni, the number 6. Setting it up just outside the Brazilian 10-metre line. And this guy's got pace, he's got power, he's got strength as well as Axel Muller. And has played some American football. Showed good skills to get Argentina's second try on the scoreboard.
Oh, look at this, in and out. Stands up Juliano Fury and then puts the afterburners on. Axel Muller's a big man, 6'3", 6'4" of him, but he's like a dancing giraffe, absolutely outstanding. But with the pace of a puma at the end, great finish and wonderfully taken try from him.
That reflects really the type of players that Santiago Gomez-Cora is looking for, creative players, rather than traditionally selecting the wingers and the flankers of old. So there we are, we're right at the break, and Argentina soaked up some pressure midway through the first half, but they lead by 14-0. Looking over the shoulders here of Andres Romagnoli, ex-Pumas Sam's coach, actually, Argentinian coach, and fly half in 15s. And that is the man who's just seen his fantastic try-scoring record equalled by Collins Injera earlier on today. 230 tries. A fantastic record for Santiago Gomez-Cora. But if Collins Injera beats that record, he'll be the first to congratulate the Kenyan. Santiago Gomez-Cora building up his squad for the Rio Olympics. Moises Duque having his say in the Brazilian huddle. Interesting character, the man with the head guard there. English-based, and he actually played for Cambridge University, Ollie, in the great Joe Roff's last ever game of rugby, as he played for Oxford University back, I think it may have been 2007, I think it was, in the varsity match.
Do you think he got some of Joe Ross' pace as well, as he just left it on the playing field?
I'm also reminded that game was sponsored by Lehman Brothers. So Argentina get the second half underway. Two tries to nil. That's the advantage. Brazil, having lost the opening match by 31 points to nil against New Zealand. Sprinting down the left flank there. Oh, now then, Alex Ruiz will have a look at Juan Himhoff's effort. Doesn't very often miss those.
He doesn't, but what a wonderfully executed kick there from Fernando Luna. Educated boot, perfectly judged. See what the referee has to say here.
Before he made contact with the ball.
Okay. I repeat, just.
Yeah.
Please, eh?
Well, Juan Himhoff thought he'd scored.
The Brazil player, tackler, the attacking player without a ball.
Correct.
Before the grounding.
Correct.
You have a number for Fiji players?
4.
Number 4. After your recommendation, I decide penalty try and yellow card against number 4.
Correct.
Okay. 4?
Hence the long discussion.
Well, I think you got everything right, except someone needs to tell Alex Ruiz it's
tackler
Argentina-Brazil rather than
and
Argentina-Fiji.
Without a ball.
Because he's just sent number 4 for Fiji to the bin, so they're going to be disappointed.
So into the bin goes Felipe Silva.
But a good call from Alex Ruiz nonetheless. There, Fernando Luna put the pressure on Brazil with that kick behind. Himhoff back, he knew he had Himhoff outside him, backed his pace, and the threat of Himhoff just caused the number 4 Silva to tackle him early. There, lovely little kick through, and Silva's under pressure from the off there. Himhoff got the ball and gets tackled without actually having the ball in his possession by Silva. Penalty try and a good call.
So Brazil down to 6 players for 2 minutes. And Argentina should take advantage, full advantage. 3 converted tries without response. Their passing is not what they would want it to be either.
Yeah, wayward pass from Himhoff, giving the ball back to Brazil, but Brazil will want to try and run this clock down, limit the damage as much as they can.
35 caps for Argentina. That's Juan Himhoff. Number 3 for Argentina. His first game of international sounds in a very long time. Brazil get the advantage here.
No tackler, assist tackler. Offside.
See, for me, that there wins cynical play. Argentina know they just need to run this clock down, waste a bit of time, playing the ball on the floor. That's clearly deliberately offside, playing the ball on the ground. Love to see Alex Ruiz just even the numbers up, make this game interesting. There, Brazil getting some momentum. You see, in the tackle, he's on the floor. That's a cynical bit of play.
From Batista Escura.
Just wait.
Argentina bring the changes here, bring on Javier Rojas, another 15s-based French-based player.
Time on.
The interesting thing here, of course, is that Argentina have allowed the selection of France-based players in international competition, not playing their club rugby in Argentina. him off again. Neat little offload out the back door, finding Santiago Alvarez. Argentina just going through the motions here. They'll need to conserve their energies for later in the tournament.
And also need to work on their passing, because some poor skills, and it's just relied on this outstanding bit of pace to get them over the line.
Juan Pablo Estelez, newcomer this season, made his debut in Hong Kong, but he's already racking up the tries. That's his 12th this season.
Well, the idea is perfect. When we mentioned that Brazil weren't giving any width on their play, and as a result that makes it easy for the defenders. You contrast that to what we just seen there. Estelez holding the width, holding in that 5-meter channel, and Argentina really shifting the ball wide. The result is that Brazil's defense is stretched. Look how much width Argentina have here. Now the execution of passing is poor, and that's something they've got to work on, because to be a top-tier, top side in this series, you've got to have your passing on your money. But by pushing it to the width, you stretch them so far, the Brazilian defence just can't get there. Really well executed.
Argentina have shown glimpses this season of what they're capable of. They lost to South Africa in the final in Cape Town. Cup semi-finalists last weekend in Paris. They lost to France. Defeated New Zealand in the quarters. All stop-start. 28-0, 2 minutes to go.
Yes.
A lot of money has been invested in rugby in Brazil by World Rugby and an English-run project as well to take the game to the schools and favelas.
It was nearly so cheeky as well, wasn't there? Win a bit of flair, just not quite coming off for the Brazilians, and we're going to want to see some colour from them come Rio.
Set. Advantage.
Referee Ruiz waits for advantage.
Number 9, offside.
Argentina going through the motion. That has to be forward, surely. Well, some of the skills on display from Argentina are pretty poor.
Captain option.
But they seem to have been dragged down really by the Brazilians here. You'd expect them to put those chances away, wouldn't you? A team that aspires to Olympic glory.
Yeah, I would. I mean, I mentioned it earlier that their game understanding is really good. They understand width, space, how to stretch defence. But their execution has been poor so far, it's particularly on their handling front.
Yeah, the better the team, better the opposition, the better Argentina play very often. They seem to raise their game.
Yeah, they do. I mean, they're a side that pride themselves on being a real nuisance, just making really difficult breakdown time, pressurising, harrying teams, and the good teams find it very difficult to play against them.
It's a quick advantage taken Lucas Müller. But again, ball stripped away. Escura, very busy Batista Escura.
He's a really good player. I like him, how well balanced he is. Really, him and Revol in the middle of this Argentinian midfield.
Well, he's been the find of the season for Santiago Gomez Cora from the Hindu club in Buenos Aires. Felipe Silva wanting to make up for his earlier indiscretion. And saw him sit on the naughty boys chair for 2 minutes. So there is the hooter, chance perhaps for one more score before Alex Ruiz calls time on this one. Out it comes to the impressive Escura, underhanded back inside, looks for Javier Rojas. But perhaps a chance, well, no chance, don't think, on this occasion for Brazil. Andre Silva into Laurent Couhé. Plays for the Bandeirantes club. partner club of the London Saracens. Lovely step. And finally Brazil will surely get their score. Will they hang on, hold the back page. And over he goes. Look for a second there as if Daniel Sonseri would not get there, celebrating before he got to the try line. And how many times have we seen players come unstuck in that situation?
I thought he was going to come unstuck, giving it